Good morning, everyone. So, in this video, we're going to see the ASP.NET CRUD operations, right? So, this will be totally practical implementation, right? If you want, I will create the separate video for the theoretical explanation of the code, which will be written here to perform the CRUD operations, okay? So to perform the CRUD operations, the basic concepts, you should know C Sharp, you should know the SQL, and then of course the ASP.NET page lifecycle. Okay. So the motto of this video is to know like how CRUD operation works or how to write the or how to perform the CRUD operations in ASP.NET. Okay. So this is the motto of the video. Okay. And these are the prerequisites. Okay. Then only you guys will understand the working of CRUD, right? So software requirements is I'm using here Visual Studio 2017, followed by the for the database I'm using the SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, so these two softwares are required. Okay, so what all steps we are going to follow? First, we will design the web page. Okay, that is the .aspx page. Okay, and then followed by the we will connect to the database. Okay, we will use the external connectivity, and then we'll add the functionality that is the CRUD, create, read, update, delete. Okay, using C Sharp. Okay, and then our application is ready to test. Okay, so these are the simple steps we'll follow. Okay, so here scenario is we will make the student registration. Okay, 3 to 4 inputs, let's say name, email, mobile number, or let's say the password or city, something. These might be the 4 fields we want to take. Followed by we will insert the student records. Okay, and then we'll show the number of student registered, and then update the student details if needed, and delete the students. Okay, student detail if required. Okay, these are the 4 operations we are going to perform. Okay, so in the student registration. Okay, so let's start now. So as you can see here, this is the Microsoft Visual Studio 2017. Okay, on the left side top corner, click on File, New, and then Project. Okay, okay. Follow this step carefully. Okay, pause the video wherever you got stuck, and then replay the video. Okay, if needed. Okay, and then choose the ASP.NET web application. This one. Okay, and then name your solution. Let's say student CRUD, let's say. Okay, and then wherever you want to save this file. Okay, I'm gonna save this in desktop file. In the desktop I am having one my underscore web folder. Okay, inside this I'm going to save this student CRUD solution. Okay, okay, I'm gonna click on OK, choose the empty layout. Okay, and then click on OK. This will take a minute, I guess. So till then, you guys, if you want to know about the SQL, I have created one separate playlist for SQL from basic to intermediate level. Okay, advanced concepts, SQL topics. Also, I will add this playlist after some time. So if you want to learn SQL, so you can do check it out. Apart from that, I am having some web development concepts also. Okay, so you can check one by one. Okay, in your free time, and you can enhance your knowledge. Okay, so coming back to our page, so as you can see, the student CRUD. Okay, our solution is created. As you can see here, inside this we have properties, references, and web config file. Okay, now just right click on this root project. Okay, that is the student CRUD. Okay, and add, click on add, and then new item. Okay, now select the web form page. Okay, our first step as discussed, right? What we'll do, we'll design the ASPX page, that is active server page in XML, right? This is the full form. Okay, let's name it as default page. Okay, default.aspx. Okay, choose the web form, okay, this one, and name the file as default.aspx and click on add. So as you can see here, the basic the page default.aspx page is created, okay, with the basic code written in HTML, okay. This is the source code. In the bottom you can see there are three options here: source, split, design, okay. This is the source code, followed by this is the design one, okay. On the left hand side you can see here toolbox, okay. If here in your screen the toolbox is not appearing, click on the view button, okay. You can see here we have the toolbox here, okay. You can click and you will get the toolbox here, okay. So as discussed, the scenario is the student registration, okay. So let's first design the UI, okay. So student, okay, registration form, okay. And then let's say we'll take hardly 3 to 4 fields, okay, because our motto is to understand the CRUD, right? So we will cover later, or in the separate video we will cover the designing part, okay, and then validations and all we'll cover in the next video, okay. This video is purely for CRUD operation, okay. So enter name, okay. In the toolbox search for text box, double click, okay. The text box is appeared here, right? Simple drag and drop system, and then enter, let's say, mobile number, okay. Again text box, okay, and then let's say enter city, again text box, and let's say one more field. Let's take uh, and a college, okay. Okay, these are the four fields I'm gonna take, okay. And then of course one button, okay, so that as soon as the user will click on the button, the details should get saved in the database, okay. So this is the button, okay. So as per standard rules, as you can see, let's say name the text box, okay. Proper naming should be done for the text box and buttons, or whatever control ID is being we are using here, okay. Name them properly. So simply right click on text box and click on properties. On the right side below, one properties box will appear. As you can see, it shows the text box one details, as you can see. So on the there in the text box one property box, there's one last option ID. So give the proper ID as txt name, or let's say txt student name, okay. Okay, same for let's say mobile, okay, txt mobile, okay. So control IDs, as per standard rules, control IDs are named like this. For the text box, the prefix is txt, okay, followed by the name, okay. It's not necessary, but for good practice, okay. Txt city, okay, and our last text box is txt college, okay. And then for button, let's say for button the prefix is btn followed by the name, so btn submit, okay. Okay, just for understanding, let's create another button. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, no worries. So button, okay, let's remove and drag again button. button, yeah, button, okay. Let's say button login, okay, let's say. And of course, rename the text as submit, okay. As you can see here the text changed to submit. Here again, let's give it as login button, okay. So perfect. So this is our student registration form, okay. The file is default.aspx. Okay, this was the design panel. As you can see, now I'm now moving on to the source code. As you can see, automatically its source code is generated. Carefully observe here inside the body tag. Inside the body tag, we have the form tag. Okay, and inside the form under one div, these all text box and buttons are created. Okay, so in the later part, or let's say in the next video, one separate video, we'll try to design this using CSS. Okay, we'll try. Okay, let's first run this. Okay, let's run the default.aspx page first. Okay, it might take for the first time. It might take for seconds. Okay, so as you can see, the page has been appeared here, the default dot. As you can see in the URL also, local host followed by the local host and then our file name. Okay, as you can see here, we will enter the details and all. Okay, so the first part is done, uh, the designing part. Now we are going to connect to database. Of course, we are going to store the data. Of course, we need a database, right? So again, I'm using the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, this is I guess 19, version 19 I'm using it. So this is the server name. Okay, our local server name. Okay, copy this for reference. Okay, here copy this for our reference. Okay, copy the server name in your notepad file. Okay, so I'm gonna connect this, and then I'm gonna select the new query button. Okay, so default is master here because first we will create the database and then followed by the table, right, to store the data. So first we will create the database. So simple syntax is create database followed by the database name. Let's say student CRUD. Okay, okay, simply I'm going to execute this. As you can see, command completed successfully. On the left side we have the drop down. As you can see now, the student CRUD, the database name is appeared here. Okay, select this, or the alternate way is what you can do is use student CRUD. Okay, this also works. Okay, as you can see, I'm gonna select master, and I'm gonna run this again. Use student CRUD. As you can see, it is changed to the student CRUD database. Now we are inside the student CRUD database. Now what we have to do is we're gonna create the table. So create table student. Let's say student details. Okay, so if you are not familiar with the SQL syntax, or no, you don't know how to create the database or create table. Okay, or if you want to learn SQL, then in my channel there is a SQL playlist, so you can have a look on my videos. Okay, SQL videos. Okay, so coming back here, create student details. Let's say the first one is name, so let's say student name varchar, let's say 20 characters, followed by the email varchar again, let's say 30 characters. And then what other things we have? We have, oh, not email. Okay, I'm sorry. We have Mobile City College. Okay, mobile. We have city name. Let's say again 20 characters. Okay, and then the last college. Okay, so let's say 20 characters. Okay, simple, simple syntax. Okay, so let's execute this. Yeah, it's done. Okay, so now no, let's say no. There's one mistake here. Let's internally save the ID also. Drop table. Okay, I'm dropping the table student details. The reason is because I forgot here to create the ID column, because I want each row should be uniquely defined. Okay, so identity column, you can't add the identity column in the existing table, okay, using the alter command. So ultimately you need to drop the table, and you need to recreate the table. So here I want the id int data type, and it should be identity. Okay, 1 comma 1. Okay, yeah, now it's fine, I guess. Yeah, so as you can see, on the left side we have the object explorer. Okay, in that you can expand the database. As you can see here, we have the student CRUD database. Expand the table section, you can see here student details. Okay, table is being created. So select start from student. So as you can see, we have ID, student name, mobile, city, college. Okay, perfect. So we have created the database. Okay, and inside that we have created the tables. Okay, now we want to connect this to our .NET application, right? So we are using the external connectivity. So what do you have to do? Okay, come back here to the Microsoft Visual Studio. On the left side, you have the Server Explorer. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, if Server Explorer is not appearing, what you can do in the view, you have here the Server Explorer. Okay, so as you can see, right click on data connections, you have the add connection option here. Select that. Server name, I told you a few minutes back, you need to copy the server name. Okay, so I have pasted here my server name. Okay, and then here, connect inside the connect to database, we have one drop down here, select or enter the database name. Okay, you can directly enter the database name here, or what you can do is you can automatically, based on the given server name, all the database names will appear here. Okay, so I'm going to select the student database. Okay, and then just I will click on this test connection button to test the connectivity. If everything is fine, one pop-up will appear, test connection succeeded. Okay, if not, there might be an issue. Okay, then we need to look on this. Okay, so here our test connection is successful. Okay, and then we'll click on OK. So automatically on the right side below, you can see inside the properties window, a connection string is being generated. Okay, just copy that. Okay, and again save this in a notepad or in a Word file for future reference. Okay, because this string will be required for the actual database connection, because what we are going to do is we are gonna connect, as we are using here the external connectivity. So inside the web config file, okay, as you can see here, inside the app settings, okay, we are gonna add this connection string. Okay, let's say we will give the key as a key name. Okay, let's say my db, and then value. Inside the value, we need to pass this. Okay, this whole connection string. Okay, so take time and do this step correctly, because if the connection string is not proper, then the data will not get inserted. Okay, it will throw an error. Okay, so this 3 line of code you will write inside the web config inside the configuration tab. Okay, okay, perfect. Now we have successfully done the external connectivity with the database. Okay, so as per our plan, we have completed the 2 steps. Okay, that the designing part. Okay, and then connect to the database. Okay, now moving forward with the third one, the actual part, the add functionality CRUD in C#. Okay, so coming back to our studio, so I'm on the default.aspx page. Okay, right click here, go to the view code. Okay, so as you can see, automatically default.aspx.cs file will appear. Okay, one class will contain inside the partial class. Okay, we have the page load function, or I may say the method. Okay, followed by one button one underscore click function, because by mistakenly I have double clicked this. Okay, so automatically its code is generated here. Okay, so so coming back here, so now we will first, what we'll do is user will enter here the details, right? Name, mobile, city, college, and user will click on submit. So automatically what should happen, the data should get stored in the database, right, inside the table, right, inside the student details. Here the the data should get saved. Okay, so for that what we'll do is, inside the submit button we'll write the code. Okay, here what we'll do, we'll write the uh, code for insert data. Okay, okay, here we'll write the code. Okay, so for that what all things we'll need, so for now just follow the steps what I am doing. Okay, I will make separate video. In that I will explain, or you may say in that video we'll explain the whole code which is written here. Okay, so if inside that not post back, okay, not is post back, okay, you have to write this, because this we are writing, right? Why? Because to break the page refresh. Okay, so what we are doing is, as we are dealing with the database connectivity, so here three classes we are going to use. The first one is SQL connection. Okay, so to use that classes we need mm, one library here, using system dot data dot SQL client. Okay, SQL client. Okay, inside that we have the SQL connection class. We are gonna create the object. As you can see here, it represents a connection to a SQL server database. Okay, this class cannot be inherited, right? Okay, so this is nothing but responsible for the connection. Okay, so SQL connection, and then SQL command. Okay, because we're gonna write here the insert command, right, to insert the data to the respective table. So SQL command, as you can see, it represents a transparent SQL statement or stored procedure to execute against the SQL Server database. And then one last, SQL data reader. Okay, because we are gonna show the number of student registered. Okay, that also we are going to show. Okay, so done. So this was the step one. Okay, we have adding the let me say the namespace or the library. Okay, okay, here what we are doing, we are creating the objects. Okay, and then inside the page load, to break the page refresh, so we have written the if condition. Okay, not is post back. Okay, so as this is our submit button, so now here what we'll do is, uh, string path. Okay, here we'll first connect. We'll write the connection string here, followed by, then we'll open the connection, then we'll write the command, insert command, and then we'll execute the process. Okay, so string path. So here what we, inside the string path we will mention the, so here we wanna mention the connection string here. So again, so for that first you need the, again, one namespace, or you may say the library here, using system dot configuration, right? And just write here inside the string path the configuration, search for configuration manager, configuration, yeah, manager dot app settings. Okay, so inside that, so my db, this was the key name which we have given here, right? My db, inside the app setting tab, right? Add element, key attribute is my db, and value is the connection string, right? Yeah. So my db, and then what up followed by, to establish the connection, right? Just pass the path here, right? Okay, and then open the connection, right? To execute, to write the command. So now here we'll write the insert command. Okay, so again, create one variable. It's a string insert data. Okay, inside this, okay, what we gonna write, insert into, okay, just for instance right here, insert into, let's say the insert command is insert into student, right? What are the things we want to insert? The student name followed by the mobile number, and then city, college, right? These four columns, because first column id is the identity, so it will auto increment, okay, based on the records. Okay, so in the values here, what we'll do is, the values is nothing but here, that the values will come from the text box, right? So for that we need to create the parameters here. So simple, at the student name one, at the rate student, I'm sorry, mobile, at the rate mobile one, comma, at the rate city one, comma, at the rate college one, right? This is a query. Just paste this inside the, in the string insert data, okay, inside the double inverted commas, as you can see here. This is a query, right? Insert command we have written here, okay, and then com equals to new SQL command. It takes two arguments basically. The first one is the, of course, the query, insert query, followed by the connection object. Okay, done now. Okay, now now input the parameters. So com dot parameters dot add with value. Okay, so add with value here, again mention the values here, that is the, which will come from text box, right? So student name will come from which text box? From the txt student name text box. So txt student name dot text. Okay, and the next one is com dot parameters dot add with value again, now for mobile. Okay, for the mobile one, okay, followed by the mobile number will come from the txt mobile dot text box, right? Same for the, now for, for the next one, that is for the city, right? Okay, comma, let's say txt city dot text. The city will come from the txt city text box, and the last one parameters dot add with the value. Okay, now for the college. Okay, txt college dot text. Okay, so here you can use directly write at the rate also, so it will work, or without at the rate like this also the code will work. And then the sequence doesn't matter, just you should map the parameter name with the text box. Okay, that's it. So and then after that we have opened the connection, then we have written the command also, we have added the parameters. Now com dot execute non-query. Okay, now why this? Because this execute non-query function is used for insert, okay, update and delete. If you want to perform these operations, okay, so execute non-query, okay, this function is used. Okay, so it executes a transact SQL statement against the connection and returns the number of rows affected. Okay, so this is our code to insert the data. Okay, very simple code. Okay, let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts. Okay, so let's first test this much. Okay, so we have done the create part. Okay, so let's run and check whether it is working or not. Okay, so let's execute the default.aspx page. Okay, okay, so let's say let's the name, let's say John, mobile number, let's say, okay, kind of something. Okay, but just for testing purpose, city is Goa, college is, let's say, XYZ. Okay, and I'll click on submit. Okay, so I have not shown any alert here, so let's check directly in the database. Okay, so let's start from student details. As you can see here, we have successfully inserted the record here. Okay, one record is been successfully registered. Okay, so this was about the insert query. Okay, first part is done in the CRUD operation, the create part, right? So okay, so now moving forward, let's say I want to show the number of, so as discussed in the task, like, yes, show the number of student registered. Okay, so let's do that also. For that, what we have to do is again go to the toolbox, and okay, in the toolbox again search for the button. Okay, so I want to, what I want to do is, like, I will create one show button here. Whenever I will click on the show button, right, so that the number of registered student details should appear. Okay, so let's give the name as show button here. Okay, so of course here, like in the web page, what I want to do is, in this page, the design, I want to show the data, of course, in the rows and columns. Yeah, let's say I want to show the data, okay, in a proper structure. So for that we have one grid view control we have here. Okay, so it shows like it is similar to the tabular format. Okay, so just click on this master tag. Okay, this arrow, small arrow. Okay, this small arrow is nothing but it is called as a master tag. Okay, click on that and go to edit columns. Okay, now what here I have to do is, let's select the, first as bound field. Okay, add. Okay, we have the number of number of field types here: bound field, checkbox, hyperlink. So according to the requirement, now I am taking here bound field. Okay, so two important properties we have for bound field here: header text. Okay, Let's give it, name it as header text, and this is the data field. Okay, this data field is, the name should match to the column name which we have given for the student details table. Okay, ID. So here also ID I will give. Okay, okay, and then let's add. Okay, now let's say I want, I will choose the template field. Okay, for the template field, again, header text property is very much important. So template field, let's say student name. Okay, and then what we have, mobile, and then we have city, and then we have the college. Okay, done. So uncheck the auto generate fields because we have only 5 fields to show in the inside the grid. Okay, click on OK button. You can choose the auto formatting. Okay, these way are simple design templates we have. So choose any one. I will choose the classic one. Okay, so first ID column is displaying here as data bound because we have chosen the data bound field. Okay, rest 4 columns are the template fields. Okay, just click on this grid field and go to the source code here. Okay, and here, why I have taken the template field, because as discussed, we want to update the student details. Okay, so whenever I'll click on the show button, the number of student registered will appear, and inside the grid I want to make changes of some of the students details if needed. So for that, what I am doing is, inside this grid only, I'm going to create the text box. Okay, I will provide text boxes here. So what user can do, user can automatically uh, change the student name, mobile, city, or college according to the requirement, and then user will click on the edit or delete button, so the data will get updated or it will remove. Okay, so for that purpose, what I am doing is I have chosen the template field because, okay, so first one is student name. So inside that, okay, uh, create the item template tag, write the item template, and inside the item template, what I am going to do is I'm gonna insert text box here. Okay, let's give ID as txt name. Okay, okay, and then followed by one attribute we'll use here, text attribute, because here we need to fetch the data from the table, right? So for that, we're gonna use the eval function, right? Eval method we'll use. Okay, so here our column name is student name. Okay, so the naming should be done properly, student name. Okay, and then again do the same for the mobile also. Okay, copy this 3 line of code. Okay, paste this. Okay, now here what you want to do is you want to again select the text box here, give the id as txt mobile. Okay, and again one for eval because to fetch the mobile number for that particular student. Okay, do this for again for the city and college, right? Okay, let's drag the text box again, name it as txt city, and then here again the inside the text attribute write the eval function, eval method followed by the column name. Okay, city. Okay, check the correct spelling because the column name should match. Okay, wrong spelling, the data will not appear then inside the grid. Okay, so again for the text box we need here, so copy this 3 line of code, paste inside the template field of college, and just edit the remove the text box and add the new text box here, and rename the id as txt mobile, no, I'm sorry, txt college. Okay, followed by the text property here. Okay, text, and here COLLE college. Okay, done. As you can see, now go to the design panel again. So as you can see here, inside the text box, data bound is being mentioned automatically, because what we are doing, we are mapping with the columns, okay, which is present inside the student details table here. Okay, we are directly mapping the column names, okay, using the eval method. Okay, now whenever I'll click on this show button, okay, the data will appear here. Okay, so where I have to do the coding, inside the show button I have to write the functionality, I have to write the code. Okay, so here, code for select, right? So simple. Again, what we have to do, we have to establish the path. Okay, so this 3 line of code I'm reusing, and then followed by what here, instead of here, instead of insert command, I will write the select command, right? So what I'm gonna do, simply I will define one variable here, let's say show data, and inside the double inverted commas I will write select start from student details. Okay, simple, right? Because we want to show the details, right? The number of students registered. So select start from student details. Again, check the spelling. Okay, wrong spelling, it might throw an error. So again, inside the SQL command, passing the show data and connection object. Okay, and now what we'll do is, okay, so here, as discussed, inside the class we have declared the three objects, right? Connection command and SQL data reader. So SQL data reader is responsible, right, to fetch the records. Okay, so dr equals com dot execute reader. This function what is responsible, right, as you can see here, sends the SQL command text to SQL command and builds a SQL connection reader. Okay, this is responsible, okay, to fetch the details. Okay, and we're gonna show this inside the grid, right? So just mapping the grid view control. So grid view control, only two properties are important: grid view, data source, and data bind. So data source, grid view dot data source equal to dr, and then grid view one dot data bind. Okay, that's it. And then close the dr, because if you will not write this dr dot close, so the select query, okay, will not terminate. Select query will not terminate, it will continue, it will execute continuously. Okay, okay, so for that you need to write the dr dot close. Okay, so now let's run this. Okay, let's see we are able to fetch the data or not. Okay, let's first click on the show button. Okay, there is an error because of the does not contain a property. Okay, there is an issue. Yeah, the issue is because the spelling is incorrect. It's student name and the T is missing here. Okay, so I guess now it should work. Okay, so let's run again. So let's run again the application. Now click on the show buttons. Yeah, now as you can see, we are able to see the student details. Okay, let's add another student. Let's say Rejoice's phone number is blah blah blah, and cities, let's say he's also from Goa, and let's say college name something. Okay, okay. Now I have click on submitted button, and then I'm going to click on the show button. As you can see, we are able to insert the data, and clicking on the show button, we are able to see the registered student details. Okay, so this was all about the insert and read, that is the select part. Okay, in the next video we'll discuss about the update and delete part. Okay, so let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts. Okay, so this video is almost now 45 minutes, so that's the reason. In the next, I'll create another part. In that, the second part of the video, I'll show you the update and delete part also. Okay, so if let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts. So until then, thank you. Thanks for watching.